What is up, Posy people? Frank here. You're watching Positively News on the Super Posy Show. And E3 is just around the corner, so let's get into some awesome information that's been announced during the preliminary press conferences. So first up, we've had a flurry of announcements from Bethesda Softworks, one of which is drawing some major controversy. Bethesda announced the launch of their Creation Club, which basically will allow creators to make paid versions of their mods for all of Bethesda's games. So as you probably know, games like Skyrim and Fallout both have a huge mod community. There are a lot of creators that work tirelessly to create so much awesome add-on content for these games. So naturally, because this community is so huge and these mods have been free for quite some time, there's a little bit of uproar about this. Now, this isn't the first time that Bethesda has tried to integrate paid mods into their games. A few years ago, Bethesda did the same exact thing, and there was also a little bit of uproar about it at that point as well. Now, obviously, some people are on board with this idea, mainly mod creators, because it does take quite some time to create a really good quality mod, and naturally a lot of those people would not mind making a little bit of money putting all this hard work into creating some content for the community. But of course, there is a far larger number of people who just download and consume the mods and don't really offer any original content to the community themselves. Needless to say, those people are going from having access to all this stuff for free to having to pay for some of this. Now, as someone who's dabbled in the art industry, I totally understand the value of a creative work and why I feel some people are justified in wanting to be paid for the hard work and artistic vision that they put into their creations. It's also important to note that Creation Club will not be monetizing pre-existing mods that exist in the community right now, and developers will be able to actually select whether they want to participate in Creation Club or make their mods available for free. Now, I imagine a lot of people will elect to charge for their mods because why not make money if you're putting all your hard work into something like this? But I imagine there's still going to be plenty of people who just want to do it for the sake of being a part of the community and want to provide something free for other fans of the game. There's not a whole lot of details about this right now. It was kind of something that was mentioned sort of quickly at Bethesda's press conference, so I imagine more details will follow in the coming weeks. On another note, we've got tons of announcements for new content for games, including 2 games which I'm going to be talking about in this video today, the first of which is Evil Within 2. Now, of course, I'm going to include the link to the full trailer in the description down below, and you should definitely check it out, but I personally love Bethesda. They take so much time and so much care, and they put it into their games, and they make such high quality content pretty much 100% of the time. Nonetheless, I think the game looks genuinely great. It doesn't seem quite as scary as its predecessor, but I mean, this trailer didn't really show us a whole lot of the game, so who knows what the game has in store for us. I probably won't pre-order this just yet because I was not a huge fan of the first game, although I did enjoy playing it from time to time. I do love, survival horror type games and just the horror genre in general, so I probably will check it out, but I'm definitely going to probably look a little bit more into it before I make my purchase. Next up, we have Wolfenstein 2. Now, I honestly didn't get through the first one, The New Order. I do own it for my Xbox One right over here, and I've played through probably about half of it. Graphically, it looks amazing. I really like the storyline. It's very Man in the High Castle-esque. It's just a really, really cool game, and I probably will look a little bit more into it. I don't know if I'm going to buy this one because I did enjoy the first one, but not enough to finish the whole game. So if you're really into the Wolfenstein franchise, definitely check it out. From what I can see, it looks like a really good game. It seems like a lot of the recurring characters from the first game are there. So if you're into that franchise, I think it's definitely worth looking into. Next up, we're going to be talking about the 2 games that have me the most excited probably out of anything E3 is going to announce in the coming couple days. The first one being Anthem.
All right, let's do this.
See you on the other side.
Our story is out there.
Now, I had heard virtually nothing about this game prior to the drop of its teaser trailer and then full gameplay trailer, which happened just yesterday, I believe. And all I have to say is this game looks absolutely amazing. Now, the trailer is available online to stream in qualities up to 4K, which leads me to believe that this game will be available in 4K for those who have the next generation consoles like the Xbox One S, the PlayStation 4 Pro, and a very high performing PC. The platforms haven't been officially announced, but I'm crossing my fingers and hoping that it's available for PC, because that's really the only setup I have right now that could probably handle 4K gaming. But this game is still pretty far out before we see launch. It's projected to launch in fall of 2018, so we've got over a year left to wait. And there is definitely a lot of concern in the community about the quality of the graphics portrayed in the trailer versus the quality of the graphics portrayed in the finished product, as EA is known to make really enticing promotional content for their upcoming projects and then dial it down a whole bunch once the actual project hits the stores. Now, this game is being developed by BioWare, who are most well known for the Mass Effect franchise, Star Wars The Old Republic, and the Dragon Age games. They also did Knights of the Old Republic, I believe, as well. So they've made some pretty quality games. They have some really awesome projects under their belt, so I have pretty high hopes for the development of this game. I won't be too surprised if the graphics don't look quite as high fidelity as they do in the trailer, but needless to say, the gameplay at the very least looks really fun. It definitely feels kind of like a Destiny ripoff a little bit, and as I'm a huge Destiny fan, it's hard for me to really get into the storyline, but I've got my fingers crossed. I'm probably going to at least try it out because I could use another third-person shooter, and hopefully it's awesome. Definitely one I might consider pre-ordering once I look into it a little bit more, because it just looks really fun, but I guess only time will tell. And then finally, the game that everyone's losing their minds for, Star Wars Battlefront 2. Oh my god. Now, the official gameplay trailer just dropped this past Saturday, a couple days ago, but oh my god, it looks great. Same kind of situation here as Anthem. It's being published by EA, who, like I said, has a reputation of maybe not delivering quite what they promised up front when they announce games. But this game is being developed by DICE, the same studio that developed the first Battlefront remake, and they did an awesome job with that game. I have it for PC and for PlayStation 4, and it looks absolutely marvelous. If you crank those resolution settings and graphic settings all the way up on your PC, it looks damn near photorealistic. So I am fully confident that they're going to be able to deliver a product that looks at least on the same level as the first Battlefront, if not better, now that they have access to slightly better technologies. We have the better graphics cards out, like the 1080 Ti's. We have the new 4K systems like the Xbox One S and the PS4 Pro. So the possibilities here are huge as far as the quality of this game goes. And it looks like they're going to be incorporating Clone Wars era into this game, which is something that everybody really wanted for the first game. That was kind of the same situation. A lot of people expected there to be more in the first Battlefront, but then it was a little bit emptier and more hollow of a release than a lot of people had expected. But I feel like they kind of redeemed themselves with some of the DLC that they launched, like the Death Star DLC, the Scarif DLC, incorporating a little bit more of the different eras of Star Wars, if you will. Nonetheless, I am definitely pre-ordering this game. I haven't gotten around to it yet, but I probably will within the next couple weeks, because I absolutely love Star Wars, as you guys may be able to tell by all the crap I have behind me. But I'm just so excited for this game. I hope everybody else is too, because I think it's going to be one of the best games of the year. Well, that's all I got for you guys so far. E3 is starting up officially tomorrow, so there's going to be a ton more news coming out over the next couple days. I know typically I only do videos on Mondays. Speaking of which, I missed last week's video because I had to work over the weekend and I was really busy, and I just didn't have the time to crank out a quality video. I would have had to rush it and make it really shoddy and not really up to my standards. So I decided I was just going to take the week to focus on work and put out a new, better, more content and information filled video, as opposed to just throwing something together really sloppily. That being said, I'm going to try to make up for that this week, because once E3's over, I think I might do a recap video and just talk about a little bit more of the awesome announcements that are going to be coming up in the next couple days once everything's all said and done. So stay tuned for that. If you're new here, feel free to click that subscribe button. I talk about stuff like this all the time. If you really like multimedia, pop culture, kind of nerdier stuff, this is definitely an awesome place to be, because that's all I'm about. That's all my content. So anyways, guys, feel free to like this video if you liked it. Feel free to leave your comments down below about some of the stuff I talked about. What are your opinions on some of these games? How do you feel about Bethesda's recent decisions on their business model? I'd love to hear from you guys. As always, my name is Frank, and stay posy. I'll catch y'all later.